welcome to April's Garage, the greatest automotive channel in all of YouTube land. And this is the Dakota. I got Tyler, I gifted it to him. Let's say he deserves it. But here's a problem, it is not working. It is broken, but I feel like he kind of likes that.
Oh, what you do? You did great. You got me a hoopty, I mean a real hoopty here.
I feel
because
like I'm turning into you.
Well, I knew there's going to be something serious wrong with this thing because it was at a Honda store traded in, and nobody turns in a nice rust-free truck for $1,000 or $2,000 towards a Honda unless there's something seriously wrong with it. And there's something seriously wrong with it. It's overheating. Who knows why? It could be something simple, but not with this car's reputation. So I called up the car wizard and said, hey, you know, I got a Dakota that's overheating. And he stopped me. He was like, I'm probably not the right guy for it. I don't like farm trucks all that much. You know who to ask. And it's the other Tyler Wichita YouTuber. It's Tyler Potter. He's here.
Hello, Tyler
Mopar, no par.
The Mopar man. You're like a superhero with your Mopar.
That's a sad superhero.
Now, you've been working on these types of cars for years and years and years and years. Are you like the Mopar doctor?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
He loves the new Hornets and the new Wagoneers, I hear.
Does.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're great. They're great.
But he likes them.
The Italian stuff. But now you've rebuilt, mostly in Jeep forms, as far as these 4.7s. You would buy like hopeless ones that people had overheated and just left to die and revived in many of them. So in the Dakota, they should look familiar, right?
Yes, this is the same thing, just a little bit different shape, different shape of a body here.
Do you feel like this body in this Dakota, there's always like that one issue that keeps coming up? Like, do you even need your diagnostic tools?
For sure. Because, I mean, there's not just, sure, we could have an engine issue, but you could also have something as simple as a cooling fan causing an issue. Or, I mean, there's just a million things in the automotive world that could cause issues, overheats, stuff like that.
And it's worth saving, right?
Sure.
I mean, rust-free body, and it's in great shape.
Yes, as long as we don't get underneath and it's rusting in half like a Subaru or something.
True.
Been there, yeah.
Would you use the adjective nice when you look at this Dakota like Tyler does?
Absolutely. For a Dakota, these are getting very few and far between that aren't just crumbling to pieces, the beds falling off of them, the doors falling off. So yes, this for a Dakota is a nice example.
And it has a V8.
And yes, V8 power.
Right.
Okay, I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed that it's something simple, even though I've seen plenty of these that have gone nuclear, and this I'm suspicious. But you brought a scan tool that is older than this, right?
Absolutely. The original scan tool for Chrysler for this thing, so we can check a few items out.
Really?
Yes.
They didn't confiscate it from you?
Well,
you still have it?
It still have it, absolutely.
Cold War era.
It is. It's like a first original Game Boy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, can we see it?
Yes, absolutely.
That is so
Oh, yeah.
cool. Oh my God, that looks like that old like brick phone.
Yes. Nokia green screen. So yes, we're gonna get this thing fired up here so we can do some. It's a little.
It has its own case and hairball.
Did you get mad at it?
Again, this thing's been through a lot.
It is so cool. Oh my gosh, I want to press all the buttons at the same time. Beep, beep, beep. Look at that. That is wild.
So we are going to operate our electric cooling fan.
Tyler's trying to take it from me.
No, get out of here. This is April's garage. All right, so
He's kidding.
we are going to come over here
Myself.
and we are going to go through all of our menus to our engine.
So this is first diagnosing what?
So right now we're wanting to see, do we have a cooling fan issue because the thing it was overheating sitting at idle. So do we have a fan issue causing the whole thing, and it's just going to need a new fan, and we'll be on the road for $100 or not?
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed,
It's just
absolutely.
A cooling fan.
We are going to go down to our actuators. We are going to go over to our fan relay. So I'll let you do the honors of hitting
fan relay. You ready? Okay, just press.
Well,
so what does that mean?
That means our fan's working, and that's.
Well, you sound disappointed.
That's kind of not what we wanted to see.
Well, could the like a thermometer, like a temp sensor, not tell it not to turn on?
Potentially, but we would typically have a check engine light for a cooling temp sensor or something along those lines.
There's no check engine light. There's no warning codes at all.
No, and we can.
Would you feel better if I broke the cooling fan? Would it make you happy right now?
Yes, because then we could quickly get this thing going. We're going to quickly scan for codes just to see if somebody's maybe. Okay, we've got no code. So I was maybe thinking somebody pulled a bulb out of the instrument cluster, and we don't have a check engine light.
Yeah.
Well, how about a sticky thermostat?
So a thermostat would typically stick closed or stick open, but that could definitely maybe be an issue. But the fact that you guys were able to drive the thing and it cooled back off pretty darn quickly kind of would eliminate our thermostat being an issue.
Sure.
So we can kind of start diving into the cooling system now and kind of looking through and seeing if we see anything horrible.
It's the other scary part, is it has clean green coolant in it, and it's full. So,
I was
are you gonna taste it like the wizard in the reservoir?
Does it taste good?
That's when I see like fresh, brand new coolant. I'm kind of like, uh-oh.
Right, but they're replacing it.
Somebody was trying, like they were trying some things, and
Yes.
but that's just the reservoir. So in here,
So yes, in our radiator cap, which we have an aftermarket cap too. So somebody's really been trying hard to maybe limp this thing along and make it not overheat. We don't have a lot of coolant due to you guys kind of boiling it over, but what we are left with is some nice glitter.
Yeah, look at that. Wow.
So yeah, normally glitter and copper would be nice, but when it's in a cooling system,
that's mechanic in a can.
yeah, somebody's been trying to limp this along or limp it to the auction.
But what does that stuff do?
So that will kind of make its way and find its way into any coolant leaks, or in this case, potentially head gasket leaking, warped cylinder heads. So another thing we can kind of do is, if a head gasket's bad, we will also get a whole bunch of pressure in the cooling system. And typically that happens relatively quickly. And that will kind of be another indication of real bad things going on in the engine. And yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to pick up on camera, but we do have a little bit of cooling system pressure already happening, even though it's only been idling for a very short amount of time, and it shouldn't really have that much pressure already. So that's kind of all pointing towards a little bit deeper inside this thing.
Seriously? Like, you're going to have to remove more?
Well, like our repair is going to be a lot more torn apart here. We're not going to get away with an easy fix.
Okay.
So typically with a bunch of cooling system pressure and our glitter that we've got here, that's kind of telling us that we've got some warped cylinder heads and or failed head gaskets.
Mechanically totaled. Because if this came to your shop at the Dodge dealership, the quote would be something
$5,000, $6,000. I mean,
You just said it's mechanically totaled.
it's mechanically totaled.
Shut up.
If you took it to the dealer to get repaired, it would cost more to fix this than the truck is worth.
With labor rates and parts pricing nowadays, that's the unfortunate thing about a lot of these vehicles, is that they are, again, mechanically totaled because of, if you're not able to do it yourself, it's real outrageous.
What happens if you spend like the last of your money on a truck to get to work, and then this happens and you're not going to be able to fix it? Like, that's what I'm envisioning right now.
That's why it got dumped at a dealer wholesale auction. So a dealer could have to deal with this, and people feel okay with trading in and dumping it at a dealer and not like selling it on Facebook Marketplace and screwing somebody over with mechanic a can. And that's why it was traded in. And there's no good reason for somebody to trade in a nice vehicle like this. Nobody's doing that.
So what do we do? What's next?
We get down on our knees.
And pray to the hoopty gods?
Wait, no. You're looking at them right here.
Oh.
We beg Tyler Potter to help us, please.
Tyler.
Please.
The most intelligent man in all of Wichita.
I think I'm getting a phone call. Sorry.
That is so good at fixing cars.
You can do these in like 2 hours blindfolded, right?
We can. And with it on a lift, that would help even more.
Oh yeah, please, yes, use the space. That would be
muddy
great.
up some floors.
Like, what do you have to take out? Like, what does this entail?
This is very, very in depth. This is.
I think he's saying yes.
This is intake off, valve covers off, timing cover off, cylinder heads off.
Like,
It's
all of this,
everything out of the hole.
Those metal gone, and then machining and all that stuff. So
Yes.
maybe it'd be a good idea to look over the rest of the truck. We have the lift. We can put it up in the air. Make sure there's not some other big giant
Absolutely.
because if it's a nice truck, otherwise it's worth doing.
Sure. Yeah.
We would give you some money for your time.
Yeah.
And all
I
that,
feel
obviously.
so bad. Like, I got this for you to enjoy,
You did
not
great.
to work over it. I know you're so happy right now.
It's better this way.
No, it's not.
It's so much better
I feel
this way.
terrible. You shouldn't have to work on a gift that someone gives you. It should just work on its own. Am I turning it into
Well, maybe we'll have you fix it.
Oh.
I could do that.
Oh.
I could do
Oh.
I probably can't do that. It's going to be a disaster.
Excuse me for a minute.
All right, so one thing we can see right off the bat is some shiny newer Bilstein shocks. So that's
Yeah.
kind of a cool little,
European shocks?
absolutely.
Wow.
Our steering rack is a little bit greasy, but that's just kind of marking its territory. So that's
Oh.
not too awful bad.
And that's not something that would come out for a head gasket.
No,
That's just
no,
something
that's
else.
just a little bonus.
Okay.
But for a 4.7 liter, this engine is like extremely dry. It is crazy, crazy dry. No oil leaks.
Interesting front axle setup here because it obviously has boots, but they're not as long since it's
Yes.
offset to the
Yep.
side.
We've got our drive shaft here, which is good to have.
Now, Wizard usually, grabs it and talks about how beefy it is.
This one's not very beefy. This is pretty, it's normal. It's very normal.
Average, you would
That's
say?
average.
Okay.
Transmission pan is a little bit questionable. We've got some leakage
Yeah,
here.
what is-
That's a little ATF.
You gonna taste it?
No.
And we've got some weird bolts. So somebody's already been in there playing. and
Lost a bolt.
Lost a bolt or two.
Threw that in there. Okay.
But
that's
again,
cute.
not the end of the world.
So this leaking isn't terrible.
No, we could put a new pan gasket on this thing and make it happy again, but we
Right.
kind of
But it's more to do. That's the thing.
absolutely for sure.
Is this leaking?
That is again a teeny little leak from our transfer case half, and again you could clean that off and it would not be wet for a very long time. Our catalytic converters are still in place, which is kind of cool and rare on something old.
Wait,
that's
so
not
when
been,
someone goes to steal it,
yeah,
where do
we're
they cut it?
Right here and right up here.
Oh, so this one's easy to get to.
This would be kind of easy to steal, sure.
Right.
Yeah. A little bit of condensation from our exhaust. But again, one of the things that we were wanting to look at is our body, our frame, all of that are like really, really good. We've got no rust, nothing nasty, nothing bad.
It's pretty exceptional,
It's
actually.
very, very clean for the year. Our rear drive shaft is a lot girthier.
Yeah.
That one is
Very nice.
above average.
Yep.
We will say that.
And the fuel tank kind of straddles it here.
Yep.
Plastic. And they hide a lot inside the frame, I see.
Yep, all of our wiring harness, fuel rails, fuel lines and brake lines up there.
And none of that's rusty either, really. Well, a little bit.
A little bit on the brake lines, but
That's pretty normal.
brakes are really overrated.
Okay.
Moving on back, we've again got really nice yellow body Bilsteins back here that are pretty fresh. We've got a very dry rear axle. God, this thing is really, really leak free other than that little bit of leak from our steering rack and our transmission pan. But there's nothing bad under here.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
It's very good.
It's a
Yeah.
very good sign.
Ew.
So, Potter,
Yes.
we are at your tender mercy because you're the only person that could save this truck for probably a reasonable amount of money.
Sure.
And I get that you don't usually do other people's cars outside of your own,
Yeah.
outside of work, but
And we totally didn't like prep this beforehand to be like, hey, you're going to work on the truck no matter what. Like, we're literally asking him for the first time.
he's on the
right
spot
now.
on camera. It's the best way to do it. What do you think? How long do you think it'd take you to do?
That's a good question. I would always work on my personal vehicles at the end of the day for a few hours. But I mean, it shouldn't take us too long pending everything comes apart relatively nicely.
Okay.
So we've got to send cylinder heads out and have them machined, and that takes a couple days, and then but not too long.
Would it help you if we helped you, or would we just like get in the way?
I mean, you could turn the lights on for me and like unlock the door, but you know, it's kind of tight under the engine bay. I'd hate to be, you know, bumping elbows and, you know.
He saw me working on the Bugatti.
We all saw you work in the Bugatti.
I don't want to have to be finding bolts down in the nether regions.
What was that? What was...
That was a disaster. I don't want that to happen here. It's more important that
We
it doesn't
need
happen
all
in
the
the Bugatti,
bolts.
though. But we can't go bolt fishing, so you're out.
Okay.
And I guess I'm out too, if you'll do it.
I think we've got to try and save the old girl.
Yes, we do. This is
So-
very important. It's a very important truck for Tyler. I really wanted to run for a long time. She's got some miles on her, but I think there's a lot more.
There's some left. Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Okay, good.
All right.
It's done? Tyler, you've been at this for a long time. Well, not too long. I heard it only took you like 2 hours.
Right. I broke in the other night and did a little bit of teardown and work.
Right.
So we tore the cylinder heads off. We tore our timing cover off so we could get down to figure out what our kind of issue was.
I mean, there's a lot of work that went into this. Is it salvageable? Like, do you think there's life yet to come from her?
Absolutely. So one of the cool things we can now see is the lack of sludge, you know, in all of our front timing cover area.
Down here?
Yes, none of it. Yes, it's dirty, but it's
Right.
not full of goopy sludge.
What's going on with these little green?
Those are when you forget to bring a paint pen and you need to mark your timing. That's very custom work here. But what we kind of ended up finding after we got our cylinder heads removed was one of our cylinders is a lot cleaner and shinier, one of our pistons.
Getting steam cleaned,
Absolutely,
right there.
from coolant. That's why we had a lack of coolant and or coolant pressure in our cooling system in a short amount of time, because that cylinder was, again, building pressure and the gasket wasn't gasketing anymore.
Don't you wish these engines were still this easy to take apart? Like, I'm looking how each plug's a little bit different to where you can't screw it up and plug into the wrong thing. Like the timing chain's really short.
Yeah.
All this stuff where it's, even though these weren't the most durable trucks ever built, there's still some thought in
Sure,
being
yeah.
able to fix it, huh?
There's no EGR valves and coolers and turbos and piping. It's a lot simpler.
It'd be cooler if there were turbos and all the things.
Not he's about to quit because of that.
Wait, so is this just all rust that's
Yeah,
clean out?
I mean, again, it's 20 plus years old. It's been around the block a few times. So all of that rust scale is just normal surface rust stuff on the outside of the block. None of that is what is internal to the engine. That's just open to the elements. So everything is back on the workbench provided by Dodge.
Whoa!
So we can move back here.
That's nice.
Oh my God!
No. This is like, I've had stress dreams where I've had to put stuff together like this and it's impossible. How do you even figure this out?
Well, the good thing is, if you're the one that took it apart, any extra bolts you can just kind of toss over your shoulder in, you know.
What do you do that?
No, of course not. No, everything kind of has its place.
I do feel like whenever we put stuff together, there's a whole pile of extra bolts
That's just
that missed.
That's a bonus. We've got, everything scattered apart back here.
What's that stuff?
That's a little kind of coolanty oil mix from
Yeah, chocolate milkshake.
chocolate
You guys are
milkshake.
like bakers
Yes,
making your own
yeah.
concoction.
It just doesn't taste as good.
Not good. Not good. So, anything surprise-wise? Anything hold you up or not look?
No, everything came apart really well. We'll get our cylinder heads, out to the machine shop. We'll get them machined down so they'll be nice and smooth. We'll have a bunch of new gaskets, a bunch of new parts, some new lifters, some new spark plugs, and it should be better than it was.
This is so, I don't want to touch it because I feel like I'm going to mess everything up.
There's not much method to it. You just kind of tossed everything in here, but it's it's all pretty dirty.
Yeah, it's nice. The good news is the thing still ran and drove great, even with it guzzling.
Great is like a little bit of a loose term.
It drove great, even though it was guzzling coolant. So should be better.
Absolutely.
When it gets back together. So those heads, just to be on the safe side, they get a little bit of a skim in the machine shop.
Absolutely. So our aluminum heads on our iron block engine, that's kind of where we have some warpage when things get hot. So yeah, we'll have those sent out. We'll have them machined. That's hundreds of dollars cheaper than buying new cylinder heads. And we'll, again, throw some new lifters, which is another 4.7 thing, and we'll be able to throw it back together.
Is there a way you could make it faster? Like you secretly tell them to do something? Some magic.
These old dogs don't really have much.
No. Well, they do skim the heads, and then that gives you a little more oomph, right?
Which is true. That would bump our compression, but since this is an overhead cam engine, we would be losing some timing. So we'll end up getting a little bit thicker head gaskets to compensate for our machined heads, so all of our timing's back in a line, and it'll just be right back to stock.
I wish I could get a thicker gasket to compensate, but I'm stuck with what I got anyway.
Maybe Tyler can help you out. You've done a lot here. That would be so weird and creepy. I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone with two Tylers right now. So what's next? You're sending it off to Stop it. He's number one. You're my number one.
All right.
We'll just call you number
Good job,
one.
Tyler. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
This is awful.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe it only took you less than 2 hours to do all this thing. This is fantastic. And you have your own YouTube channel as well,
Absolutely,
Tyler
yes.
Potter.
Yep.
Check him out. Do you do this like the same type of
I've done this
stuff?
quite a few times with a lot of broken Jeeps.
Yeah.
So,
And he complains about his job.
yes.
Right.
That's
true.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah.
normal. We all do. My boss is terrible.
Yeah.
He's just like
Yeah.
workhorse
Yeah.
with a taser. And he's like, get to work
Yeah,
all the
Jake
time.
complains about me all the time too. So yeah. But really appreciate it. Yeah, we'll get the heads off, and I guess when they are skimmed and happy, I'll give you a call. And think it'll take 2 hours to put it back together.
It'll take a little bit longer
Okay.
to go back together, but shouldn't be too bad-ish.
I can help you.
Absolutely.
I might hinder it though. Thanks for watching.